Hello, it's Bailey and welcome to the home stretch vlog for Squash That series. I am attempting to completely finish all the prompts, and to do so, today's Thursday, so I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get this done. All I need to complete every single prompt is First Comes Like by Alisha Rai, which I'm over 100 pages into, Captured by Beverly Jenkins, which I'm about 50 pages into, and then The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. So if I finish those three things, I will have completed all the prompts. I do have a little bit more plans than that. If I finish those, I'm gonna continue until the end of the challenge. So physically, if I finish those, I will be starting A Scot in the Dark by Sarah McLean, and if I have time, I will listen to Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire. That is only like a 4-hour audiobook, but I'm not planning on listening to an audiobook at work today, and then tomorrow I only work a half day and I don't really listen to audiobooks on the weekend. So those are like tentatively may get to those other two, but these three things is all I have to get to completely finish this challenge. I'm so excited about this, but yes, now I have to go to work, but I will talk to you tonight. I lied to you. I never did end up updating last night, but I didn't really have anything to update on. I didn't make significant progress in anything, but I did decide today, so it's Friday now, that I am going to try to just finish this first. Bookly tells me I have about 3 hours of reading time to finish this, so this is my main goal for the day. It is Friday, so I'm off at noon, but I get to see my baby today. We have my anatomy scan, which is like the ultrasound where they look at like all the organs, so I'm excited to see her, but obviously it's nerve-wracking. You want to hear that everything's okay, so that appointment's at 2:30, so I'll get up at noon, have a little bit of time, and then I think that's a fairly long doctor's appointment, but then I'm free for the night. So this is my main goal for today. I don't think I've talked about what this is about. This is the final book in a trilogy, which I've read the whole trilogy for this reading challenge, and so this one is like a pirate book. It's historical romance, and the premise of the book is that the main male character, which is the Levesque sibling, this is the Levesque series, when his father dies, he had this island that had slaves on it previously that his father had freed, but his father passes away and his older brother is to inherit everything that his father owned, and there was nothing in writing saying that he had freed those slaves. So his brother's like, I'm gonna enslave those people, and so our main character goes and with his ship and basically gets all the people and steals them away so that they can be free. So our main girl is one of the slaves that he essentially picked up, but she is not exactly thrilled to be picked up. She wants to go back because she has children who are enslaved elsewhere, so she doesn't want to stay with him. He obviously is like yearning for her. It's a romance, but she wants to go find her children. So I think that the premise of this is that he's gonna go like help her get her 2 kids. I am coming to you with my bathtub hair in bed at 7 p.m. to let you know that I am not feeling that good, so I will not be doing that shit tonight. See you tomorrow. Alright, I am feeling at least a little bit better this morning. I am kind of disappointed that last night I really did not get much reading done at all, but today's a new day. I have today and tomorrow. Today we do have Chris's like company picnic at like right around noon, so that'll be fun. I'm gonna go play some bingo. They usually do like raffle tickets, and then you can like put your tickets in for different prizes and then they pull for prizes. It's pretty fun time. But so my goal for the day is before that to finish Captured. I'm like just over halfway. Bookly says I only have like 2 hours left to read this, and then after that I would like to finish First Comes Like. So if I can finish both of those today and then tomorrow read the entirety of The Governess Game, that'd be great. I do think me not feeling well last night was my own fault. Because of my doctor's appointment, I didn't have any caffeine yesterday, and like once a caffeine headache hits, it's like you can't get rid of it. Drinking caffeine then isn't gonna help. Taking Tylenol is not gonna help. So that was on me, and then I do think I also ate something I shouldn't have, and I got a tummy ache. So I literally went to bed at like 7 and probably slept for like 12 hours straight, so that's great. And 12 hours straight as a pregnant lady means I woke up about 4 times in the night to pee, but I was in bed sleeping for the majority of that time. Quick update, I am home from the picnic. It's like 4:20 p.m. and I didn't quite finish Captured before I left. I have about 40 minutes left in that, so I am still optimistic about my day, but if I'm gonna do it, I need to keep reading. I am gonna go, it's way too hot upstairs here. It's like 85 degrees out today, so I am gonna go sit downstairs where our bed is currently set up in like a downstairs bedroom because it's much cooler down there. So I'm gonna go just relax in bed. I'll probably watch a little YouTube for my breaks, but like I said, still optimistic, and I will be here to update on Captured when I finish. Like I said, I don't have much left. I am definitely enjoying this one more than I've enjoyed the first two, so hopefully good things to say. The lighting in this room is so yellow, but there's nothing I can or am going to do about it. But I'm happy to report that this was probably my favorite one in the series. I did end up giving this one 4 stars, and I do think like this series was not written like chronologically. Like she wrote books in between each of these, and there technically is a book that is considered the 4th book in this series that was written like 10 years later, but it's also, so it's considered the 4th book in this series, but it's also considered the 1st book in another one of her series, so I'm not counting it for this. I read the whole series, but yeah, I just think you could really tell like how much her writing improved throughout the series. I think the first one was written in '98 and this one was published in 2009. I do think just like the pacing in this was way better in terms of like the not being insta love, and also just the plot points in this were way better. So yeah, I didn't think I really liked pirate books either, but this worked for me. It was good. So now my focus for the rest of the night is going to be this. I am 170 pages into this, so not bad. I'm approaching like not quite halfway. This is just over 400 pages, so I'm gonna do as much as I can here tonight. Today's the day. It's the last day. I did read about 100 more pages last night, so I don't have like too much of I just hit myself in the face. I don't have too much of First Comes Like left. If you know anything about me, if you watched my vlogs before, you know I sat down today and put my little tabs in for how much I need to read per hour to like finish these today, but these are all I have left to finish. The second one is The Governess Game. I don't think I've actually showed this yet. But first, I don't think I've described this either. It is the 3rd book in a series, but it's a romance series. So you do see the characters from the first 2 books in this, but like they're not main players. It's not a main part of the plot. Actually, all the girls in this series live together, but you still don't see much of the other girls. I mean, they're here, but you don't see too much of them. But this one, I'm just gonna describe in like the buzzwords of this, or the tropes, I guess. This is in the beginning, our main girl, she's an influencer and has like quite a few followers. Like she's a pretty popular YouTuber influencer, and she's been messaging this guy who is like a soap opera star online for quite a while. So they've been like talking, they're finally gonna meet up, and she goes to this party to meet him, and he is like, I don't know who you are. So essentially she finds out she's been getting catfished, but then now her and this guy have actually met, and so it ends up turning into like a fake dating situation. And there's also the only one bed trope in this. So like I said, I'm having a pretty good time. I'm not sure why this was so like has such a low rating on Goodreads. It's pretty good so far. Like it's nothing special. It's a quick like pretty surface level romance book, but I enjoy that sometimes. Like it's just a light palette cleanser, very rom-com, like it's a good time. All right, it's like 10:30 and I'm sitting in my closet because I was putting some laundry away, but I did just finish First Comes Like by Alicia Rai, and I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. I really like this. Again, I don't know why this is rated so low. I have liked this whole series. I think especially like through the whole series, I really like the family dynamics in all of them, and I think our main character in this one really grows with her relationship and trust with her parents, and them just like trusting her instincts and her goals, even though she thinks they expect like other things from her. I think she has some good conversations with her parents throughout this, and he has a very interesting relationship with his family as well. I do think this one was the least steamy of the 3. There's only really like at the end like one steamy scene, and it's not that in depth. It's not, I wouldn't say it's too smutty by any means. So this was really fun, and these are just quick. So if you need like quick, light rom-com romances to read, I recommend this whole series. But now, like I said, it's 10:30. I have one book to go. So I'm dedicating my time today. I need to keep moving. Like I said, I did just put a little bit of laundry away. That's like my only chore I had today. So I need to just stay focused and get back to it. I need to get dressed soon. We are doing sprints on Kayla's channel today. But I just wanted to update. It hasn't been that long, but I forgot how fast I read the first book in this series. So this, I'm already like 130 pages into, and it's only going to take me like 2 more hours of reading time to finish this. But I also went and wrote down like all the books I read for each prompt, and then realized that I have read enough books that if I listen to one more audiobook, which could be Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire, which is only like a 4-hour audiobook. So essentially I could listen to it in like 2 hours. That I would have not had to double up on any prompts to complete them all, but I would have read a book for each prompt. So we're definitely going to try to do that today now. Like that's, I don't know how I didn't realize that before, that I had read that many things. We ended up moving the reading sprints time up. So I started those sprints not long after I updated you last. But I actually finished The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. I also think at some point in this vlog I did call this the Duchess Deal, and that's the first book in this series. So it is The Governess Game, the second one. And let me think. Tropes that this fell into. Basically, this reminded me a lot of To Sir Philip with Love by Julia Quinn, which is the 5th book in the Bridgerton series, but I hated that book for a reason not related to why I'm comparing it to this. There was some problematic content in that book that is not in this. But basically our main character gets hired as the governess for this duke, but she has no experience being a governess. She doesn't know how to teach his kids. She's never like been a caretaker before. That's not what her job was before. And so they're now like living in the same household and spending time together, and they end up, you know, really spending some time together. I do think like he's presented as a rake, and I definitely felt that vibe off of him, even just of how he would react to her once they did like kind of start a relationship. And I never really felt that resolved as they got closer. So I didn't completely love this hero, unfortunately. I did end up giving this one 4 stars. Like I said, I read this so fast. I read this in 3 hours and 5 minutes of like active reading time, and the book is 373 pages long. So I'm not even sure how I did that. Kayla was telling me that she listened to the audiobook when she read this, and she thinks it even took her longer to listen to it. I'm not usually like that fast of a reader, so if you're looking for something quick, this is definitely the way to go. I read the first one fast too. I think that one took me more like 4 hours though. So I don't know what happened today, but I flew through this. But I have now officially completed every single prompt, except now you know that I also want to finish the audiobook of Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire today, so that I can have a different book for each prompt, because at this point, why not? It is only 5 p.m. so I have some time. I've listened to about 1/4 of it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It is Jack and Jill's like portal fantasy world. So I got the background story in the first part, and where I stopped listening to it, they were just about to like go through their door. So I am excited to sit back down and listen to that quickly. We are going to make supper, so I'll probably throw my headphone in and I'll update you when I finish that. And then I will have a full conclusion for the Squash That series. So bad news, I do feel like I just wasted my time listening to that audiobook. I didn't end up enjoying it, and I do think I'm going to give up on that series. I'm talking about Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire. When I read the first book the first time, I then obviously put it off for a long time to like get back to the series, and I think I've just decided it's not for me. I actually really liked the first part of this audiobook, which was like their life at home with their parents and just like their dynamic as twins with their parents. But then when we actually went into like the portal fantasy world, I didn't care. Like I I didn't care at all. I was not having a good time. So yeah, I definitely think this is just not for me. I know so many people love this series, and I specifically know a few people who were even like, oh, I really want you to continue that. I think you're gonna like it. And I know they're gonna get after me after this, but I do think I'm gonna give up on that series. But now I want to wrap up my entire like reading challenge experience. So I did write down some stats, and I grabbed all the books that I read for each prompt. So firstly, I did read 12 books for this readathon, and 5 of them being audiobooks and 7 being physical. I don't track my audiobooks on Bookly, so I only have the stats on like what I physically read. But for those 7 physical books, I read 2,584 pages, which totaled 27 hours. So on top of that, I also read 5 audiobooks. So an amazing week. I don't usually listen to that many audiobooks, but it really helped me with this challenge. So now I'm just gonna go through each of the prompts and what I read for each. Like I said, because I finished everything I did today, I not only finished every single prompt, but I didn't end up having to double up on anything. So I read an individual book for every single prompt, which I honestly can't believe I managed. But here we go. So for the first prompt, which was a series you waited too long to continue, so you feel like you need to restart it, I listened to Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. For the second prompt, which was to read a second book in a series, I listened to One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus. For the third prompt, which was a final book in a series, I read First Comes Like by Alicia Rai. For a book from the series you most recently started, which I decided to keep this to the series I had most recently started before the challenge started, I read The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. For a sequel on my TBR The Longest, I read Fallen by Karen Slaughter. I did already return my library books, so I don't have them here, but I read Fallen by Karen Slaughter. For a sequel published in 2021, I listened to Enjoy the View by Sarah Morgenthaler. For Randomize Your Series TBR, I got the Bridgerton series, so I ended up reading When He Was Wicked by Julia Quinn. For audiobook, a sequel, I counted Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire, which is what I just finished. And then I read an entire trilogy for the read an entire duology or trilogy prompt, and I read the Levesque trilogy by Beverly Jenkins. I listened to the first one, Through the Storm, and then I physically read the second and third. And then lastly, for a sequel to a 5-star book, I read Heartstopper Volume 3. So that is everything I accomplished for this challenge. I had such a good time. I just want to say thank you to anyone else who participated with us. This was a last minute readathon, a last minute idea that we had, but we had such a good time, and Kayla and I have definitely been talking about doing this again, kind of planned out a little better hopefully, and maybe structured a little different too. We're not sure if we liked how we did the prompts and the levels, so let me know if you have any ideas for that in the future. If you are not following Kayla yet, please do. She's one of my best friends in this whole world, and I'm so glad she did this with me. With the sprints and just everything we did all week, I had such a good time with her specifically and everyone else. So thank you so much for spending some time with me these last 2 weeks, honestly, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!